For the past 15 years or so, I've been focusing on the monotype process using viscosity. That is, using oil-based litho and etching inks and using different levels of very stiff inks and oily inks that would repel or attract each other, and applying several layers of ink to the same plate and then printing it, opposed to printing putting one layer of ink and printing the same image 2 or 3 different times. I was applying several layers of ink to the same plate. It's a technique I learned from Jean Lamar out of Susanville, California. The first prints made were the Bible and playing cards, things for the common man as opposed to people who were of wealth. If you couldn't afford an altarpiece in your house, you could afford the Albrecht Dürer woodcut version of the same image. So to me, that's very important to have artwork that can be for the common person. So I've been sort of developing my way of working for the past 15 years, and I think I've kind of arrived at a way of working that I'm real comfortable with. I kind of have a relationship now where I know what the inks are going to do a little more. I can predict things a lot. I can sort of visualize what things are going to look like more now than I did 15 years ago. But you're constantly learning new things. There's always new mediums that are being developed for modifying the inks. There's a lot of mediums out there that are made for lithography or etching or different types of printmaking that can be utilized in the viscosity technique. So I'm always trying different things and using different plates, aluminum plates, plexi plates, zinc plates, copper plates. There's all sorts of different surfaces you can work on. Different papers, there's always new papers coming up with, rice papers, Japanese papers. So it's just the tactileness of working with different papers and the inks, and the feel of mixing the inks and rolling them out and knowing how to get your layers just right, not too thick, not too thin. The mark making, additive, subtractive, working with stencils, the shinkolei, multiple plates, using different types of brushes. I think when you're doing viscosity printing, you're rolling out such thin layers of ink, sometimes even the temperature. If you're working on a very hot day, your inks tend to get real soft. If you're working in a cold environment, your inks don't flow the same as they would. So it's very different from day to day. The inks you mix up might act differently on a warm day than they would on a cool day. And one of my favorite things is to share information, especially in a teaching situation with children or even adults. Working with people who are experienced, there's always something you can learn from them, and they can teach you. And working with children, very often come up with ideas that you might not think of, because they're very unconventional, their way of thinking. And working with people who are from other mediums, sculptors. A lot of times when I work with a sculptor, they're so used to working with mass. So a lot of times they will, just by habit, they'll think of things as being thick. So they'll use very thick layers of ink, as opposed to someone who's a painter who might use thin layers. So you have to work around that and sort of adjust your strategies of teaching someone to. But sometimes thick layers work. That's the thing. You learn to work with however someone wants to put down the ink, and I think it's real rewarding, and I love doing it. And anyone that comes in and wants to learn about printmaking, I enjoy sharing what we have and showing them the work that we've done and the work that I've done with other artists. And that's it, I guess.
The radio, the talking about this.